Oh,
Okay. All right. Um, so let me, 1 second, one more thing. Okay, welcome Hammond North. It's June 26th, and it's a brief meeting primarily, hopefully exclusively to approve some bills. Before I do that, let me say that we had a wonderful turnout yesterday for Donnie and Danita's being laid off after many, many years of service. And my thanks to everybody who attended. It really was a wonderful time, and I think Donnie and Danita really appreciated it. So thanks to everybody. Two is that everybody knows, most people probably know by now, there has been a one call out that the Court of Appeals ruled in the favor of the Port et al. Appeal. And so that's going to be sent down to a judge for further processing. I'm sure there are a lot of questions and comments about it. And we're just looking at it ourselves, talking to lawyers. And we're going to have a meeting next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. And we'll discuss it then and have that certainly on the agenda. And third announcement is that I talked to Brian Baumgarten from the Dree House this morning and this afternoon, and he has secured the first 10 million in our insurance. He's working on the next 10 million. And then we think we have, at this point, their recommendation is we have to get another 26 million insurance, not 35, but we're still to be determined what that means, what the premium is. It looks like it might come down totally some $20,000, but that's very premature, and we'll have to see what actually comes up. And as we said earlier, that the budget we have is that premium would be paid out of the funds we have through the landmark insurance settlement. So those are the three announcements. Then in terms of the bills, I guess officially what I should do is turn it over to Tim. Can you chair the meeting and I'll bring up the motions on the financial.
All right. Okay, the meeting is here to approve some invoices, some outstanding invoices. John, do you have proposal on approving these invoices?
Yes, I have a Hunt Builders invoice number 16004. It's a total of $34,409.97. It's almost exclusively for the construction staff as well as dumpsters and some minor expenses. So I move that I move that we approve this bill for $31,409.97.
And that is for May?
Or, I'm sorry.
I second it. And then I have a question.
Okay.
Is that for May?
Sorry, good question. Yes, it's for May 1st to 30th.
So is that their only bill for May? Do you know for sure?
There may be one other, but I think this is the only one I have handy right now. So I really don't know. There may have been another one.
Okay.
And this
John,
is
I have
for
a question.
This is for the stuff that we had to do based on what the city told us we had to do.
There isn't really any expenses for that. It mainly is for the staff they have working on the project. Mainly that's Eric Gobich, who chairs the construction meetings we do Wednesday meeting. He's the only one that significant amount of time. Everybody else is 10 hours a month, or 10 hours a week rather, or 2 hours or 1 hour a week.
So this is basically to support our insurance claim for the most part.
Yeah.
That's what they're mainly working on, right? Is to help us collect.
Yeah, that's the main one. They also were preparing for the repair. There was discussion that we had a construction meeting, question of the repair of the railings, and there's some other items that we talked about in those meetings.
Okay.
And as I recall, John, this is for work that we requested their help on to get done, to help us get the requirements of the city done.
Yeah, that was true. And actually, now that you say that, that therefore includes probably work on arranging the shafts that were being had to be sealed up again from floors 1 to 7, and other safety items that had been completed, the electrical signs, the stairways, exit signs, that stuff.
And the reporting requirements that we do with the city every week.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor of paying this bill for Hunt? Okay, it's unanimous with the 5 people who are here. John, do you have another invoice that you want to propose for approval?
Yes, there's a TRS bill number 2947. The amount, the period is April 16th to May 13th. The original, the total of the bill is 131,419 and 55 cents. However, I'm only proposing that we pay $50,569 and 55 cents. What I subtracted out is $80,850, which is a charge that TRS has for the fans that are operating the bypass ventilation. So that's a question that's in dispute with TRS, and I'm only proposing to pay the undisputed parts of that bill, which are, again, they had personnel who are operating the lifts that had been cut down, I think, by then to 1 time a week, unless it was arranged beforehand. Mike Basovich, Katrina Terry attending the Wednesday meetings, and those kind of related costs.
So your proposal is to pay a partial payment,
Yes,
TRS, and withhold the payment for the fan.
it excludes any payment for the fan.
I second it.
Oh, okay.
Any discussion? Dan?
I would just like to say that dealing with TRS is difficult, and I know people have a lot of opinions about it, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that say we should be done with TRS, and there's no one who agrees with that more than me, except possibly John, Tim, Tom, Chris,
Me.
but yeah. These discussions have been very difficult, and we're trying to get them out of our lives, and I'm gonna vote for it because I want them out of our lives as much as anything. And I mean, they are doing the service.
John?
Sorry, I also have to admit, everybody, 1 second, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I'll also add to this that we are unaware of an agreement that TRS had with Insurance Landmark about paying this bill. Apparently, there was an arrangement made 2 days after we learned of the price, the cost of what the repairs would be on November 25th. And we were aware of this only in April when we we had the results of the sampling for the scrubbers that were in the hallway, and it showed they were ineffective. We asked them to be removed at that point, and I asked, is this going to decrease? How much is this going to decrease the cost? And the answer was, it's not going to decrease the cost. It's a monthly amount from an arrangement made earlier.
And that arrangement, John, was made by others, nobody on this board. Is that correct?
As far as I know, I was unaware of it when I was on the board from November 27th to the end of the year till the election. And as far as I can tell, I have seen some documents that say there's going to be a charge, like that email back from November, but I can't track down anything from this board or the previous board that documents agreement to this arrangement.
But they have a backup contract, which is at a higher rate that they'll likely implement if we don't pay this.
If we don't pay the amount, which is $80,000 roughly a month, then there's a per unit charge but that per unit charge, I think, could be disputed also. To me, it was an arrangement while demolition remediation was going on in the building, and there was a need for fans to make sure that any dust, any fire particles or asbestos, anything was removed. It didn't go any further.
Okay, so basically the summary of this is that we will continue to dispute that charge. We will pay them for the expenses that we think legitimate, which are running a hoist and maintaining some equipment, but we don't feel like we need to pay for the fan charge.
Correct.
That's his point.
Okay, all in favor of John's motion to pay the bill less the fan expense? Okay, it's unanimous with the 5 who are. John, do you have another invoice that we want?
Yes, I have one more, TRS bill number 2969. This is from May 14th to June 10th. It's for a total of $102,363. I've subtracted the $80,850, the same amount that was from the earlier bill for the fans. The remaining amount, which is again for the personnel and the rental of the scaffolding, the hoist, is $21,513. So I'm proposing that we pay that partial amount, $21,513.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Okay, Chris is seconding it. Any further discussion?
And the big expense on that now is that scaffolding.
No, actually, scaffolding does not cost that much. It's still some personnel, but the personnel on this bill is around 15,000. That's half of what it was on the earlier bill. So this bill is significantly lower. I should add with the hoist is that the update all the owners that the railings have all been fixed on the hoist. The hoist is scheduled to come down. It should have started this week, but there was a conflict with American Scaffolding being able to do that. It would take roughly 3 days. And I think July 7th is the date they think it'll come down now, but American Scaffolding agreed that they would not charge us any rent for the additional 2 weeks before it comes down.
Okay, good.
So bottom line is we're done paying for the hoist. The only residual expense that we have right now is once the hoist comes down, the city permit that we got requires us to fill those holes on the balconies of the units where there were holes drilled. So we have to do that and then have the city come back
And we have
check that and approve.
we have contracted with Hunt to do that. Is that correct?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Hunt will do that as soon as they can, and then that will fulfill our obligation to the city on the city permit that we got. Okay. Any further discussion on this motion? Okay. All in favor of John's motion to make a partial payment to TRS? Okay, it's unanimous with the 5 who are attending. John, do you have any further
Nope, those are the only bills.
business? No further business?
Well, yeah, I mean, we could take a few questions from the owners, but you know, it's,
I guess if you're finished making motions,
I'm finished.
I turn the meeting back over to you.
Okay. So we could take a few questions. People have any questions on the bills? Can raise the electronic hand. I know there was some discussion with the owners about whether they had to tune in to a meeting and spend the time on the bills. And another effect of being wanting to get these bills processed is that that's all we'll talk about. So if someone can't make this meeting, it is being recorded, but it means that they don't have to sit through it. All right. Well, there is no plans for executive session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second.
Seconded by Chris. All right, all those in favor of adjourning? All right, thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.